In the sultry embrace of the brothel's corridors, Rhea glided gracefully, a tray of wine glasses balanced in her steady hands. The flickering candles cast a warm glow on her flushed cheeks as she navigated through the labyrinth of desires. The laughter and whispers of the patrons enveloped her, while her heart fluttered with a mix of curiosity and apprehension, for tonight, destiny will beckon with an unexpected twist. In the room of pleasure, Amazis grabs a dagger nearby and playfully places it at Sitar's throat.
My Empress, you want me to finish off the horse? No problem then.
Don't anger me, Amazis, or your master will find out everything and cut off your head.
Of course. Just don't forget to tell him to whom I reveal the Imperial secrets.
Don't be a fool. Instead, tell me what you think of Phoenix.
Rhea enters the room carrying the wine. Amazis picks up a glass from the floor and extends it to Rhea, who fills it to the brim.
Thank you, my dear.
Anything else?
No. You're free for today.
Amazis quickly finishes all the wine. Rhea leaves the room, taking her clothes with her.
I love this wine. It's simply perfect.
You didn't answer my question.
There is nothing to think about. Nutia burned to the ground. There was nothing left. Only power capable of such thing is Phoenix. I witnessed the blue flames with my own eyes.
The day before, our beloved master sent his best warriors with the alchemist of the new gods to Nuthia. Doesn't that tell you anything?
Where did you know all of that? But anyway, as his advisor, I assure you that he sent them to help with the cold sickness spreading from the river. The alchemists are experts in that.
Oh, stop it. You're much smarter than you pretend to be. He used the power of the new gods and destroyed Nuthia. Then he lit the blue fire with the alchemist to convince everyone that the Hishasi had awakened their savior.
You better tell me who tell you to crap about alchemists. Got some other spy behind my back, the Council of the Azure?
I won't reveal all the secrets to you, but believe me, Jador is lying.
All right then, but please answer to these questions.
I'm all ears.
Why did he specifically destroy Nuthia? If I was him, then I simply start from you.
The Nuthian Emperor possessed the most unusual power of the new gods, and for him to expose Jador's deception, he would only need to be present at the gathering. That way he definitely destroyed him and gathered his strength for himself.
Then here's my second question to you, my darling. Why the hell does Jador need all this?
To destroy the south and give everything to the north. As he promised to the Dan, Hamada mentioned hearing the oath. Jador swore to their father before gaining power that there would come a day when the Northerners would rule and he would retire.
Jador didn't just swear in that Sitara. He broke his oath for the greater good of peace more than once.
Don't you dare defend the one who killed and disgraced my husband. And on whose side are you?
Of course on yours. But your husband was my only brother, and you know that I won't rest until I avenge him from Jador. But one thing I know for sure, Jador wouldn't lie about Phoenix. On this I trust him more than your spies in the council, whoever they are.
Smoothly transitioning from the brothel on the outskirts of the Azure Empire, we find ourselves in the court of the Dane Empire. Darkness gives way to the pale sunlight, illuminating the majestic walls and towers that stand before us. Ascending the marble steps adorned with gilding, Tivad moves forward alongside the elite of the north. Armored warriors, their garments reflecting the moonlight, create a shimmering effect, as if they embody strength and power themselves. Tivad, standing at the height of his status, gazes at his subjects with pride and confidence. He is surrounded by the elite, representatives of the most powerful and brave warriors whose eyes shine with determination and loyalty. The court of the Dane Empire is permeated with an atmosphere of power and respectability. Marble statues, graceful arches, and ancient columns create an impression of grandeur and elevation. Red carpets fluttering in the wind add softness and luxury to the surroundings. Tivad, standing in his place, embodies the power and authority of the Dane Empire. His presence fills the court with energy and determination, attesting to his unwavering will and dedication to his people. Tivad stands next to Krona, holding his son in his arms. In the distance, a column of soldiers dressed in Dane armor of the second type approaches. After a few seconds, an enormous Slynodon passes in front of Tivad, halted by a man from the carriage. The man steps out. It's Rutar, an old comrade in arms of Tivad. Kari catches Rutar's puzzled gaze as he looks at Tivad. He approaches Tivad and bows to him.
Ah, you old wolf. If you continue to make me like this, I'll feed you to Abbey. Then, your Imperial Majesty, come and embrace your old friend.
Tivad places Kari on the ground and walks over to hug Rutar.
There's something we need to talk about, Tivad. It's very important. We'll have time for that.
As this happens, another carriage approaches Tivad, from which Gideon, Tivad's younger brother and ruler of the smaller northern empires known as the Second Danes, steps out.
Brother, how long I waited for our reunion.
Gideon approaches and tightly embraces Tivad.
That's enough now.
Believe it or not, I missed you so much.
Meanwhile, Gideon embraces Kari.
Oh, my nephew, how you've grown. Soon you will become a follower of the will of Hera, to the one true God, the only faithful one.
Everyone nearby repeats the phrase. A young woman, Anelia, Gideon's wife, steps out of the carriage and kneels before Tivad.
Greetings, Lord. Where is your spouse?
Mother is currently in the citadel of Miro, receiving new instructions from the god.
Kari, do not speak when the question is directed to me. And the rest of you, proceed to the castle. We're nearly starving.
Anelia nods her head.
Rutar, make sure the animals are settled in their respective places while I have a talk with my brother.
No, we'll talk later.
Gideon, with a mysterious smile on his face, agrees to carry out Tivad's request, nodding his head, and heads towards the area where the animals are located. As he disappears from view, Tivad watches him disapprovingly. On his face, one can read the hidden tension and suppressed anger, promising exciting events and challenging trials hidden behind the curtain of secrecy. Gideon approaches his commanders.
Harness these creatures in their appropriate places.
Gideon's troops listen to his order and quickly comply. Tivad, together with the northern elite, enters the castle. Gideon, with a twisted mouth, watches them with his gaze, adjusting the clasp of his cloak, and whispers under his breath,
My throne and my glory in his name.
After some time, Kari runs alongside the imperial stables, playing with his servant, Signor. They engage in a game called Kirby, a children's game of the Northlanders, where the essence is to strike a stone against a wall and catch it before it lands. The first one to catch the stone is the winner. Kari strikes the stone with all his might against the wall, and it rebounds, coming dangerously close to the stable, which had been repurposed for the animals of Dana II. He hurries to a covered wagon nearby. Signor can't keep up with Kari's speed and falls behind, disappointed in his own sluggishness, which dampens his spirits and prevents him from following Kari. Kari notices the stone he was chasing, but it's now right under the wagon. He crawls under it and sees a warrior unconscious.
Sinner, come quickly!
Signor rushes over as fast as he can.
Whose armor is this?
I don't know, my lord. I've never seen such before.
Sinner, do not call me that. We get only one lord, and it is my father. I'm just your friend.
Sorry, but Mom restricted to call you any way else except the Lord, because it might be dangerous.
Do not be afraid of me. I'm your friend. Call me just Gray.
Signor gently smiles. Suddenly behind the stables, Rutar appears.
Boys, step away from the wagon. There are dangerous things there.
Kerry approaches Rutar.
Whose armor is this, Master Rutar?
Rutar narrows his eyes and slowly crouches down.
This is just a random idiot who attacked us.
But where did he come from?
I don't know. He assaulted us on our way here. Probably a sudden.
Kerry continues running and playing with Signor. Rutar watches him with a mixture of excitement and concern. A bird flies overhead, flapping its long red wings with great force, soaring upwards before diving towards the castle. It slips through an opening and lands in the throne room, perching on one of the columns. In the throne room, all the high-ranking members of the Dans family and Dans II sit on the floor in their designated places. T.V.A.T. raises his goblet.
To Hera, may his name be praised for all eternity.
Everyone echoes his words and empties their bear-shaped cups. Gideon silently finishes his drink while observing T.V.A.T.
Today, on the occasion of my brother's arrival, I declare the celebration open.
The men exchange glances among themselves.
Let us see whom they will honor this time with the privilege of being part of the Imperial bloodline.
Gideon raises his cup.
May their lives be as long-lasting as ours.
Once again, everyone repeats the toast. T.V.A.T. finishes his drink and calls over Crone, who stands nearby. Crone approaches slowly, bowing her head to T.V.A.T.
Daughter, go to the Hall of Ark and command everyone to leave.
Understood. Anything else?
Yes, when we leave, arrange for all the guests to retire to their rooms.
Crone nods and heads towards the exit. T.V.A.T. catches Gideon's gaze and gestures for him to follow. T.V.A.T. and Gideon proceed to the Hall of Arha, adorned with numerous relics of Arha, the holy place of Dan's family. In the center stands a massive statue of Bear, above which hangs a painting of T.V.A.T.'s father, Dan, and Hera, their faces obscured by the diffused light. Gideon stands before the painting, studying it intently. T.V.A.T. sits at the center of a large table, pouring himself some wine. Gideon loosens one button and begins massaging his throat. T.V.A.T. notices this.
Remember the old days, huh?
Gideon turns around and smirks.
Those days weren't the best, were they?
And in my opinion, better than this crowd with castles and servants meant for unimaginable things.
Really? I happen to enjoy the servants. They make me feel special.
T.V.A.T. finishes his glass of wine.
Alright, enough chit-chat. Tell me what you wanted.
Gideon slowly approaches the table and pours himself some wine.
Of course, but first, answer me one question.
Don't waste my time, fool. I still have much to accomplish today.
Yes, of course. Why then did you allow Cheddar to take the position of the Supreme Commander at the beginning of the war? After all, Father wanted to see you in that role.
You know the answer for yourself. There's simply no best strategist smarter than Jedar.
T.V.A.T. stands up, preparing to leave.
If that's all, then I must be going.
Oh, no. I've come from distant northern lands with the sole proposition for you, big brother. You and I will reunite and vanquish Jedar.
T.V.A.T.'s complexion changed in bewilderment at what he heard, and he clutched the goblet in his hand.